Welcome back, everybody. Brett here, and thanks for joining me for yet again another trip into Breakwater Point. Now, in the last episode, I was almost completed with the new area and the new coaster. I didn't quite finish everything off just because I was behind schedule and wanted to get the video out, but I have completed that area and have started on the next one, and that's what we're here to check out today. So real quick, I did go through and add all the foliage work and the lighting and everything to the backside of Shrieking Tiki over here. So the area does feel a little bit more alive at this point. I didn't really do a whole lot. Like I said, I just went in and did all of our foliage and everything. Came through with the lighting and the fencing, so that's all squared away. Finished up the area around Totem. So now our drop tower is looking better. I did go, I think I mentioned that last time. I added some extra fencing around Hang 10, added this restaurant, and that was about what I think was left off with. So now everything I'm about to show you is new. I finally went through and touched up these restaurants in the main plaza area. So we have another Viva La Vegan and Gulpy shop. Then this one is actually a brand that I started creating and coming up with in the original Breakwater Park back in Planko 1. It's called Slice Life. It is a pizza joint. So now I have that in Breakwater Point as well. Interiors are done. Slice Life, grab some wow, I really can't talk today. Grab a soda and a slice of pizza, and as I'm looking at this now, I forgot to add the glass in the windows, but hey, I can go in and fix that later. Just ignore it. I did go back over to the entrance a little bit and just added some fencing to kind of square off the area so we don't have people just wandering aimlessly into the park without getting their passes or wandering into dangerous areas they're not supposed to be. Still going to go back in later and do more work on the entrance here, but I just wanted to show you that I did come back and start adding a little bit more to it. Not much else other than the fencing, but that's going to be done later on. Kind of detailed out the plaza a little bit more, some fencing, some of these little signs just to kind of add some more detail and life. And I did come up with the name for the thrill side of the park, Volcano Valley. So it's kind of sticking with the idea that I had going with the water feature here. It's featuring both the intense water and waves and everything, which kind of symbolizes Tsunami Bay, and then obviously the center is a volcano. So just kind of stuck with that idea. So now everything is a little bit more cohesive. So the entrance is pretty much done. I'm going to add some more foliage and trees and everything once I start working on this area. Don't want to get too involved in that yet. So we come through, showed you the sundial, kind of just touched everything up here. The sundial does have a name now. I just called it Scream Dial. I don't know if I'm set on that, but it's just kind of a holder for right now while I brainstorm and see if I want to do anything else. But that's about it for the area that we saw previously. So now let's go take a look at what I've done for the new area. All right, so the next area that we're working on is this sort of back corner of the park. And as you can see, we've got, like I promised, another roller coaster. Yes, but let's go talk about the other things I'm adding first. I did relocate the strike, so it is going to stay in this part of the park. I wanted another flat ride to kind of balance out the sundial and the drop tower, because those are both a little bit more on the intense side. So I did something a little bit more mild for just for some variety, in case we've got guests in the park that aren't necessarily ready for those bigger thrill rides. And I thought it was a good place for the giant Ferris wheel, so that will be living there as well. I am putting in like a little smoothie stand kind of thing on this little corner here. Obviously, it just kind of roughed it in, so I will be working on that as well. But other than that, there isn't going to be a whole lot going on in this, just because it's already pretty heavily done up with Shrieking Tiki and whatnot. But I felt like I needed some other attractions to kind of round this out. I did drop this cable car that takes you over to the other side of the park if you don't want to walk. That is not necessarily staying. I just wanted to put it in and give me an idea of where it would go. I like the idea of having it. I'm just not sure 100% that it's going to stay. So there's that. And then the coaster. Yes, it is the Vekoma Multi Launch Family coaster. Think your Big Bear Mountain, just not quite as huge because that ride is massive. It is relatively short, but does feature 3 launches. I'm a little upset with it though, because when I first finished building it, it was green across the board with really good stats and G-forces, and then as soon as I went through and smoothed everything out, it is no longer green in the excitement area. Apparently jank makes it more exciting. I wasn't going to try and completely rebuild it to the same layout just to get the green again and maybe not even get it. So it is what it is. I'm going to live with it. I mean, it is a smaller family ride, so it might not be nearly as exciting as some of the other coasters, but you know, it is what it is. I need to have that variety. So real quick, you come out of the station, down this little drop turn right into the first launch. It comes up, swoops around, does some swoopy, a little bit of air time, down into the second launch. Kind of some of the same thing, just swings around, down into a valley, a little air time, another valley, into the third launch. Again, kind of the same idea, just swoops and lots of turns and another air time, smaller air time, and then into the final valley where you get some really good whips and snap, up the little hill and down into the brake run. I said it's not the biggest, most intense coaster, but that's kind of its point. It is going to be themed up heavily. I do have an idea for the name and the theming, so I already kind of know what I'm going to do with it. And yeah, I guess I should probably get to that. So I'm going to go build, and I'll be back here in just a second. All right, and we're back. First things first, the area is technically finished, yes, but to me, it doesn't really feel like a new area of the park, more just like an extension of the last area we were working on. But whatever, it is what it is. It's in the park, it's part of it. It's got rides, everything's themed up, etc., etc. So I think it's done for now. So we're going to go take a look at everything that we did. I'm going to end with the coaster just because that's kind of, you know, the main attraction of what I've been building on. So we're going to start over here, and actually starting with probably what is my favorite thing of this new part of the park. And it's not even anything crazy. It's this super, very basic building, but I absolutely love the way it turned out. I don't know why, but it's just very clean and aesthetic and appealing to me. And it's just a stupid little juice bar coffee shop thing. It's not even anything crazy, but I mean, yeah, I love the way it turned out. It looks so clean and modern, yet still kind of running with the same theme and idea of the rest of the park, with the thatch roof or whatever you call that, and the stone and the wood. But yeah, I don't know. I really like the way it turned out. I really am happy. Oh my God, learn the camera, Brad. With the interior, like it is not much, but I just love it in here. With the drop ceiling support beams and the lighting, and then the upper roof that isn't even the main roof. The way the wood and the stone all work together, it's so simple, and there's not much to it, but it looks so good to me. I'm gushing. I don't know why, but I really like this building. It's probably my favorite building in the entire park so far. And it's kind of making me want to continue with this more sleek kind of modern twist to the rest of the park. It's still the same idea, but modernized. So my idea is to kind of transition into the next big part that we're going to work on with the style more like this, and kind of start leaving the rest of the more traditional resort style stuff behind us. So we've just got a lot more variety in the park, but still kind of sticking to the main idea and feel of it. But yeah, that's the first part and probably my favorite part of this build. And I did learn of this new trick for making mulch beds, which I really like that, and I love the look of it. Um, Being able to do it without TMTK is awesome. I like the way it turned out. I did it over here for the queue line for the Ferris wheel too. Um, so I'll probably continue that through the park, and I might go through some of the stuff that's already done and touch that up with some of that stuff just to kind of give a little bit more variety to the park. But yeah, that's a fun little trick. Taking the flower planter, can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but taking that and inverting it so that the flowers are in the ground, because this is the bottom of it. It is dirt, but it looks like mulch. So that's a really cool effect, and I'm glad I learned about it. So we're going to continue with that. Did change up the color scheme of the Ferris wheel because that god awful color pattern that it comes default with, just nope, that was going bye bye real quick. So now it kind of matches the Scream dial a little bit more. They're not the same color pattern, but they're very similar, just to kind of all jive well together. We changed up the color pattern for the strike. I did give it just a temporary name of Fire Spin. It's pretty bland and generic, but was trying to get back to the Volcano Valley idea, so we went with some fire theme kind of stuff for it. Nothing much going on with that. I have decided to keep the cable cars in because I remember back to Cedar Point and how their cable car actually features restaurants in the base of it. And I loved that idea and wanted to try it, so I did. Thus, we have Skyway Cafe. You got your drinks, or not drinks, sorry, but your milkshakes, your slushies, some gelato, and a couple other standard theme park food items there. But yeah, I really like this little area to come chill and hang out in. Nice big patio seating area. Watch people get dizzy sick on Fire Spin. You got a cool little view of the the roller coaster right here, which you can watch them zoom around on while you're grabbing a quick drink. And yeah, just a nice little place to come chill. This was a big open area, and I didn't want to cram another flat ride into it, so I decided to do something a little different and have another little place to come and chill and take a break. And like I said, I just really wanted to try this idea of having the shops built into the base of the cable car. So cable car station kind of has a good mix of the style and theming we've already done throughout the park, with the almost modernistic style of the lava juice that we just looked at, which now that I'm thinking about it, damn it, I forgot to put a sign on there. But I don't know if I'm going to put one. I don't feel like it would really fit the building. Maybe we'll do one in the garden area here. But either way, this is lava juice. Play on the word guava juice because it's cool and it's punny. Sorry, I'm tired, so I'm talking stupid. All right, moving right along, let's get to the main attraction of the episode. Of course, it is the Vekoma Family Multi Launch Coaster. We've already looked at it a little bit. And before we get too deep into it, I don't know if it's the way the game is programmed or whatever, but I went through after I themed everything up just to test and see how it looked, and now it is green across the board. And I haven't done anything different to the layout. I didn't go through and smooth anything or unsmooth. I don't know what, but it's green across the board now. I'm not going to question it. I'm not going to complain. I'm just happy I've got good stats in green. So that's really cool. Thanks, Planko. But yeah, the name of the coaster is Lava Racer. Not hugely big on the name, but I don't know. It just felt like a good name for the family style coaster. You got the little dune buggies kind of symbolizing racing across the rocks here. The station is really heavily themed around like a volcano type idea. The slanted roof looks pretty nice. I like how that turned out. We got all the beams and the lighting. The stone wall, they kind of close it all in. It does have a maintenance station area shaded on one side to work on, and then open area over here in the if they ever had to get the trains off or whatever, they've got the space to do it. They do have the staff access pathing just to add a little bit more touch of realism. I am going to go through and kind of touch that up so it's not just open stairs for no reason. And I'll be doing that in this area here when I come through and work on the backstaging one. I didn't really feel like doing it right now. I just wanted to get this done and out because I'm already, at the time of recording this, I did not put an episode out last week. Just with everything going on outside of Planko, I just didn't have the time, and I wanted to make sure I got this done so that I wasn't skipping another week. So that will come down the road when we do the backstage and the hotel and all that good stuff. So as you can see, it is a very heavily themed ride. When I first started trying my hand at realism in this, I tried to avoid over-the-top theming because from most of my amusement and theme park experiences in real life, not a lot of, mainly like Six Flags, Cedar Fair parks, they don't really have over-the-top theming. But then I remember back to my trip to Universal's Orlando. We were walking through the queue line for Velocicoaster, and I had mentioned about just how crazy intense the theming is and how much work and effort they put into it. And one of the queue line attendants actually overheard me and made the comment, "Yeah, we pay Intamin for the good stuff." And that just kind of resonated with me. I was like, you know what? That's going to be the mentality that Breakwater has with their parks. It can still be realistic, but have over-the-top theming. They would spend the extra money to enhance the experience for their rides. So that's just kind of the mentality I'm going to stick with the rest of this build. So far, this is the coaster that has the most of that. Shrieking Tiki does have some nice, scenery around it, but nothing too intense with theming. I mean, obviously you've got the pyro with the totems and whatnot, and then Hang 10, kind of the same thing. Nothing really too over the top, but I was still trying to stick to my original, feeling of not going too crazy because I wanted it more realistic, but going with the intimate mentality. That's what I'm going to call it henceforth. There is pyro on this ride as well. In the volcano here, and then a couple over with the launches. So it does have some effects as well as the crazy amount of rock work. So yeah, that's about it for the update. Trying to think if there's anything else I forgot to show you. Obviously I went through and did all the seating and the lighting and everything. So I think that's about it for this area. Pseudo area. I don't know. It's like I said, it is an area, but it's not. It just kind of feels like an extension of this spot here, but that's okay. The next one, hopefully I'll get it a little bit bigger and more, like an actual area feeling rather than just an additional ride thrown in with some stuff around it. But we'll see. I have ideas, but we'll see how they turn out once I start building. So that is going to do it for me for this episode. My name is Bread. As always, please hit like and subscribe if you want to see more Planet Coaster content with me. And I will leave you here with a ride on Lava Racer. I will see you again next week. Take care, everybody.